Going on, guys?
Hello, morning.
Morning, morning.
Nick,
What up?
you magnificent son of
Hey.
a bitch.
What's happening?
How are
Hey,
you?
how you liking Baltimore?
I am loving it here, man. It's amazing.
Well, someone's gotta love it because I fucking hate that place.
You're just not hanging around with the right people then.
Sure, I think the problem is just too many people.
Well, we got this whole place pretty much to ourselves, so we know what
That's
we're doing.
awesome.
It's
How'd
just,
you like grind?
I'm loving it. I have some blisters because I climbed the rope this morning and I got up, but then I kind of slid down. I didn't slow go down.
Yeah.
So, but I loved it. The people are fantastic.
It's a cool gym. It's like industrial warehouse type gym, top floor. There's a view. Like
Yeah.
they got everything. My buddy, you probably saw some strongman stuff there.
Yep.
That's a friend of mine's. He we actually co-founded. Fun fact about me, I'm the co-founder of Pro Strongman League. I'm the silhouette on the shirt with the stone load.
What?
Yeah.
Of course you are.
And I stepped away as like an admin just because I couldn't balance it, and him and I had differences on how we run a business. But it's still a good relationship, and that's why I stepped away. But yeah, that's where he kind of keeps a lot of the equipment
Okay.
that we use, and we do like we actually host in Baltimore as like a qualifier for the it's a world class level show. And it's main we don't do heavyweight. It's only all the pro weight class divisions. So it was kind of like Giants Live, they do World Strongest Man for all of us, but they have like the circuits for the heavies. So we're like the weight class need one, so that's why we did it. And it's kind of started right there in Baltimore. It we did a show for a few years in a row at Power Plant Live, that whole area. Roscoe probably knows what
Yeah.
I'm talking about.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fantastic though. We're lighting that gym up. I promise we're doing you proud. We had a blast.
Good.
Yeah.
Hey, Baltimore.
We'll be at the gym tomorrow morning. I know
Yeah.
you really don't want to come
I
down,
know
but
that why is a torn lat and driving in traffic at early in the morning, why is that not fun?
Dude, you can't get me on 695 at any time between 7 and 9. You can't pay me enough money because I have to do it with the VA all the fucking time because it's North
Yeah.
Green Street,
Hmm.
and it's just like, especially since that bridge that got taken out that made international news, it just
Oh
got
yeah, yeah, yeah.
even dumber.
Yeah.
But it's Baltimore's all right to visit. Um, it's just not one of my I don't know, it's not one of my favorite places. I
But
don't
they're fireflies, Nick. They're fireflies.
I you should see them out here. You'd think you got fireflies there.
At my house we have zero.
We call them lightning bugs out here. That's
Oh my
why.
God.
So here's the interesting fun fact about Maryland. It's you have the Baltimore accent, and then you have the Appalachia accent when you get like south and west, and that's the area I'm from.
Okay.
And it's we sound like more West Virginian than we do uh, Baltimorean.
Okay.
Because that
I thought you
Baltimore,
were Baltimoreans. I didn't know.
I
Baltimore.
don't know, but that Baltimore accent. Well, I'm gonna go watch the O's on a Tuesday.
Saw that
Baltimore on.
Yeah,
Baltimore. Yeah, man.
Well, it's so good to see you, and just knowing that you're nearby, it's a great feeling.
I wish I could get down there. I
Yeah,
wish
I know.
I
But we
literally
can
get off
feel
this
you.
Zoom
You
and
want
go.
us to come out and work out with you tomorrow
You
and
feel
Bruno?
closer. You just feel closer today.
We can come out to Westminster or Finksburg.
I would host a pump club meetup where I train, but it is completely private since it's a 19-acre farm, and the property owner built his forever home. He tore down the original building. Come to find out, the house was built around a wormy chestnut log cabin, which is extinct. Uh, and we found some paperwork while we were tearing it down. We got all the strongmen and we pulled the chimney down together. Um, it was built in the late 1700s, and it was one of the first houses built in the county. Um, so he used some of those wooden beams and built them into the new house. And he restores old cars and motorcycles. So literally on the other side of the gym is there's an IROC Z, there's a Nova he's doing the body on. He's got some Can-Am motorcycles which stopped being made in the 70s. So due to that and it being his forever home, it's like the 10 original founding people, and um we don't do any, not that there'd be an issue. It's just
There might, I don't know.
it's not my property. If I would love to do a pump club meetup there.
Oh, we know you
So
would.
much fun.
No.
Which I'm kind of sorting now to find out where we could host and do something for you guys, where kind of like what Jen did with the women's group. You guys come out and we do something fun in the Baltimore area, so it's logistically sound for
For everybody.
travel and everything. Because I know there's a lot of people that are within driving distance. Like we could probably get like 10 people that just drive up within 3 hours. So
For sure.
even if it's small, we can do something more clinic technique focused like Nashville. And if it ends up having a bigger turnout, we can do something more on the fun side of like a group challenge with some strongman toys, and it'll be a good time. But we're figuring that out. We're figuring out our schedule. We're LA. We're already Jen, Robbie, and I were already. I'll tell you this. Priority one is making it in Muscle Beach.
Yes.
Some insider information. Permits involved.
Oh,
We're trying to get that down. And then we have some backup options. But our primary goal is to have the LA meetup location be Muscle Beach because it's just on brand. It's iconic. The equipment at the gym there at Muscle Beach sucks, so we're gonna do something a little bit different. You guys are more than welcome to partake, but you got all the passerbys. Like it's just a really
yeah.
cool place. There's walking distance. You can get beers in between things. Like it just makes the most sense. But there are some hurdles. We still got people coming in, guys, so that's why I'm kind of stalling a little bit. Um, that
We've,
would be, I
hey
think,
Nick,
ideal. What's up?
we've had like 5 people get together in Ellicott City.
Okay.
It's kind of a central like pump club meetup.
Is anyone are you
Probably stop.
is anyone kind of spearheading the meetups for Maryland
Yeah,
Bay area?
yeah.
Who's doing it?
I have been with Rob Ryder.
Tag me in the meetup group so I can kind of keep tabs on it. Feel free to like just put me in a tag in the bottom so I can kind of communicate with you guys and we
We
can get
made a we
going.
made a Facebook group like offshoot. That's something Daniel said to do.
Okay. I'll
Uh,
be honest, I'm terrible at Facebook.
oh yeah, we'll tag you when getting together, but I think we're doing one in September.
Do you know when?
The 26th, I think.
I might be around. That could work.
Tag me too.
Okay.
You do it near the trolley stop and the walking path there.
Actually the September one, I think we did that, but the September one, I think we're doing Annapolis.
Oh, Annapolis. Okay.
Okay.
Carly's supposed to go. Like Carly's kind of leading this one.
Yeah, that's down their way a little bit. Um, cool. I think the coming in, people coming in is kind of trickled down, so we will
Great.
switch this over.
Yeah, Andres.
Yeah, definitely keep me in the loop on that. I'd love to get out there to, you know, hang out and if we lift, coach.
Cool.
Just update, just refreshing in case there were any last second admissions.
April.
Mine got sent in just a few minutes ago. It's been a crazy week.
Oh, Richard said, nice to see you, Peggy, but not me.
How is your lat doing, Nick?
I mean, it's torn. So let's see if I can. You guys want to see the imagery?
Yes.
Do you know how to share that?
Yeah.
Nope.
For our bright thing.
I'm gonna pull it up on my phone.
Everyone.
Oh, okay.
So for context, that is what a intact muscle looks like. It looks like steak, right? You see the striations, everything looks good. It's like a nice, nothing crazy going on. So this one that looks like a hand grenade got tossed in it.
Oh my God.
The top where it's intact, and then what looks like broken glass, that's my lat. So I was over halfway through my lat with the tear, which means I'm on the high end of a grade 2, almost a grade 3 total separation. So I was playing with fire. So that could have been a whole lot worse. And the fact that it happened just on guys, I was doing speed work. I was sub 50%. Wasn't even pulling heavy. It's the nature of this, right? Like shit can happen. And it is what it is. So
We tweaked down a little bit.
it sucks.
Sorry that happened, dude. That sucks.
We're all in this together, man. We're all getting a little banged up doing this. We're all kind of embracing the suck a little bit for a means to an end and making ourselves better. So it's all good. This first one is a picture, little back flex. Look at his back muscles coming in. We're seeing separation. I wish we had a before and after. That would be awesome. But looking good, Jeanette. Lillian, so dragon flags. Okay. Dragon flags are hard. So this is more of like a reverse, or not a reverse crunch. I don't know what the technical name of it is. But anyways, dragon flags, I'm not going to demonstrate right now because you see this position, my lat will not allow that. Basically, when you kick up, what has to happen is you need to kick your hips up and through and create a straight line from chest to hips. So you actually kick up into extension and then lower yourself down in unison. So we're not curling or crunching. We're how do I explain this? Fuck it. I don't know how to put that into words. Basically, when you kick up into this part, the hips have to come up into extension. I don't have anything to hold on to, but you want to get in this position when you're up. So here, and then you straighten out, squeeze your butt, and lower yourself slowly. Is a dragon flag. Now, how much you bend your knees, adjust the difficulty. High difficulty is legs straight out. They're not for the faint of heart, but they're one of my favorites because they just suck. Single arm row machine. Yeah, I mean, again, how much body English you put on this can depend. You can go for a really overloaded row where you'll kind of do this, where he's getting a little bit of upper body into it, or you can go super, super strict. The choice is up to you. I kind of do a little bit of both when I get on these machines. I will sometimes do very strict, controlled, big contraction, and then sometimes I really load that fucking thing up and rip it. So variations of rows exist. They all serve a purpose. Jonathan Wilson. Looks like we are doing squat cleans. So, okay. I mean, your front squat's good. Um, this right here, see how you're swinging it out and around? Um, so I'm gonna take the approach that I take with most people because it is such a technically big movement pattern. I want to see what your high pulls look like from a hang clean. Just hang, keep it up, keep it close. Hinge, hang clean from the same position you're starting now, but I don't want you to get in this habit of going out and around. I want you coming up, rising to your toes, triple extension, hips come through, because we're kind of just swinging it out and around. The clean portion, see how out front that rack is? It's not actually here trapped behind the delt, how low the elbows are. We need to get you into that front rack position. You're kind of doing a squat clean. Yeah, you're just doing squat cleans. So let's drop everything but the hang pull. Let's work the hang pull, the hang clean position high pull, and get the path correct. And then we can introduce the clean and then the press, if that works for you. Richard. Dumbbell RDLs.
Yeah.
Beautiful. You're nailing these, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah, these are keep on keeping on, man. These are fantastic. Ooh, these tricep extensions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if I'm doing them right because my left elbow,
Is
I
your
have a,
favorite color blue?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there are various kind of angles and options here. What you're doing really good is I don't really care what's happening from like the midsection down. What you're doing really good is you're not pulling down with the lats and the arms, and you're really hammering in that extension. And your head's clearing. You're at a good width. I'm sure you felt this in your triceps.
Definitely.
Yeah, this is fine. How we get there with what we do with the legs is open for options. So this looks like it's working. The thing that we're looking for to be done is being done. So again, if it works, it's not stupid.
Right.
So I'm not gonna be a stickler on what you do with your feet, your hands, as long as you're loading, you're moving in the plane you need to move, the triceps are getting the work. I'm happy. So well done.
Thank you.
Oscar de la Fuente. What do we got? Looks like deadlifts. So far, so good. Oscar, these are pretty good, man. Like your deadlifts very together. The brace, the pack. We we are gonna play with your hip position a little bit because I think there's more leg drive on the table. You got these big quads. We want to use them. So look when you pick up here, you're out front of your bar, right? You're over it. And as it gets heavier, that could cause it to swing out like a pendulum under that alignment. So you're doing what I call two piecing. your deadlift. And what I mean by that is your leg drive finishes and then your hinge happens versus them happening simultaneously. So this, in theory, is a good position, but what's happening is you're not in alignment. So what happens is your hips then kick up and then the bar breaks. Your brace, everything, your neutral back, how you clamp down with your lats, 10 out of 10. I absolutely love it. Right now, it's just going to be getting you into position. So what I want to see happen is as soon as you input, boop, we kick up. Now we're extended. Our leg drive is quartered, and we need to get that back. So what we need to happen is, I would say, what I want you to do is take that bar and move it. This is going to sound counterintuitive. Move it slightly out away from your shin, like this much. And what's going to happen is when you kind of rock back to sit, ever so slight, we're talking like bit, what that's going to do is pull your shoulders over the bar and allow your quads to do the work. Because bar's too close, you're out front, so then your body has to compensate. So we want to literally, Carly can vouch for this. She was struggling to find where, when she looked down over her foot, where that bar needed to be on her midfoot. Because as we bend down, our knees push towards the bar, right? Body parts have to go places. So as we get more flexion in the hips and the knees travel forward. So when we're out of position, it sucks back and then the hinge happens. So we're going to get that bar, let's say a half inch away from you. You're going to get down to the bar. The legs will advance the bar so slightly. And these are small adjustments. This isn't anything major. You go too far the other direction, it will pull you out of position. We're polishing. This is great. We're fighting for efficiency, not technique overhaul. So I think if we bring that bar ever so slightly out, you don't want to roll it out all the way till it's underneath your shoulders. We're going to make up for some of that distance. We're going to 50-50 it. We're going to roll it out a little bit and then rotate our position ever so slightly back in unison. And that will make up the rest of the gap. So let's work with that. I want to see these again in a week after you've got some reps in. You're doing a fantastic job. Sandeep, chest-supported barbell row. I like to call these, there's another name for these called seal rows. These are good, man. Looks like we're going supinated, which is fine. Well done. Good contraction, good control. I love these. Barbell deadlift, doing his cat-cow position. Oops. So your back is holding up. We're keeping that back pretty much intact. This is really good. But what's happening is you're losing your position. So your hips are kicking up and back. So to get out of that, we're still too far forward. The reason why your hips are kicking up and back is because that bar is almost over your toes. We need that somewhere in here. So what's going to happen is your butt is going to come up ever so slightly from here to here, and you're going to come back into your midfoot and heel. So when your butt comes up, it will allow your knees to come back a little bit, get a better, more vertical shin angle. So as soon as you input, look at all that space. Now it's way out front. That weight is heavier than it should be. So we need to get you in the position to where your hips come up and back, Knees suck back in a little bit. That bar is over more of the midfoot, closer to the shin than the toes. Christian, clean and press. Good. All right. Really, really good. So the main thing that stands out, I like the clean. Um, you might as well just go off the floor because you're a little too low for a hang clean and you're almost to the floor anyway. Um, you have to sit down a little bit more. I want you to, what we're really going to change here is this. You don't have to stay in the same position you cleaned. Reason being is when you leg drive, oops, look how far forward your knees have to travel. When you clean, take a half step out with each foot because you got time there. You don't have to go right into that press. Take a half step out with each foot. Keep the toes turned out. And I want you to drive your knees out over your pinky toes. And you dip and drive so we don't get this hinge forward, creating a ton of torque on the knee joint itself. But it also makes your leg drive soft versus pop. So when those knees point out like this, we can get a versus here, forward, right? We're narrow. We have this motion versus out. My hips travel vertically, and we're much more in the quad, much more in the glute, bit, kind of like a frog, if you will. The reason being is we don't want the leg drive to sag. We want it to fire. Nick, let's see. All right, Nick, no more picking up the bar out of the rack. If you're deadlifting, load the plates on the floor, everything off the floor. You've got the right idea, and you're almost there actually. But it comes down to watch when you get down a little too deep in the seat here, and you're almost trying to squat this. We don't want to squat a deadlift. We want to deadlift it. So your hips naturally, look at that whole position change as soon as it breaks. Hips come up, bar comes back. Now we're out front, out of position. Look how toe heavy we are. Take those shoes off. Those are not doing you any favors stability-wise. And then your lockout is in turn soft because you're out of position the whole way up. Our shoulders aren't back stacked on our hips. Hips and glutes aren't all the way through. So what needs to happen is take the shoes off, get flat, and somewhere in here is going to be your hip position. But we need to get you rotated ever so slightly. So
I'm not understand. Like, is my back going up first? Like,
yep, watch. Let's go back to that first rep. So you're all the way down here. Watch the correlation between your hips and the bar coming off the ground. Hips are in motion, bar hasn't moved. Look how much your position has changed. You start here, by the time it breaks, you're in a completely different position.
okay.
So what's happening is you're trying to squat it. And I can't really see the distance of the bar to your legs, but you're trying to squat it, which is your hips are so low, your knees have to travel so far forward. And so the bar doesn't run into them. You're probably out over the toe with the barbell. So what's happening is you're going to input that leg drive, and your body has to find its position to be able to move the weight. So what's happening is you're inputting, your body's pivoting around the barbell. Hips are kicking up so the bar can come in close, and your body is in a point of leverage where the weight can move. So we need to find that position where the weight input to the weight is immediate. So what that's going to look like is somewhere in this position.
Okay.
That's when the weight breaks. But if you could give me a higher angle so I can see over the plates and I
Okay.
have a little bit more information on where your bar setup is. Any questions on that?
Is that more where I should be to start or?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, because everything that happens before that just
Is
puts you out of
nothing.
position. The
Okay.
bar's not even moving. And then the bar breaks. But your leg drive's almost done at that point because your hips kicked up to get out of position and bring the bar in close. So we need to get you into that position at the start, and then we can keep tweaking it from there.
Okay.
All right?
Mhm.
This is going to be a process, so buckle up. But we will get you there. I promise.
That's the same thing. Just
Yeah, I can see you getting toe heavy. See that?
okay.
That means you are out front. That wasn't bad. That was almost you almost found it there. Got a little bit squirrely on that one.
I was like that at this.
Yep. Yep. So your pulls have glimpses of where your body needs to be. We just need to get it consistently.
And I was just wondering if I'm going low enough on this.
Um, I mean, yeah. So the trick with these hack squat machines is how low can we get before our butt starts to peel up out of position. So if you're going low enough and it's not due to like restriction, then yeah. But if it's more so like, oh, I'm gonna drop the weight, then drop the weight and try and see if you can find a little bit more depth.
Okay.
Or move your feet around. Sometimes you can put them further away. Depends on ankle mobility, things like that. The further down your feet are on the plate, the more quad heavy and narrow you are, more
So
quad.
I put a picture in. It's
Okay.
probably the next thing, just where I'm starting with.
Yeah, so you're definitely going to be quad dominant. What you could do is move your feet up to like here, keep that width, point the toes out, drive your
Okay.
knees out with your pinky toes, and see how that feels.
Thanks.
Yes, sir. Good job. Dan, seated dumbbell clean and press. Good. Snapped them up. Okay, some eccentric work. I like it. Control. Fantastic. So Dan, the only other thing, I want you to press more towards over your head, less kind of out front. That's really the only thing. You're doing everything else really, really great. Well done. Dumbbell step ups. I'd stand a little bit closer. That's the only thing. So you can get over this quad versus like reaching and pulling yourself up with your hamstring. So we can think press with the quad. So all that would just be this would be closer, and you can get more over the quad than you are now. Everything else you're doing great. Well done, Dan. You're moving well. Becky, close hand bench press. So when you unrack, Becky, settle. Get your brace, get intact, get everything where it needs to be, and go from there. Because you're missing out on some of the advantage of being in position, right? So you come out, you rebrace, snap the bar like this, and then lower it to that bra line and keeping those shoulders packed underneath of you. Let's see how we do with that. That's pretty good. They're there. And when you press, you see how at the end of the range of motion you're pushing out of that position. Press a little bit more towards your face. You've got a lot of the right things here. We're just got to polish it some. That's all. Well done. Front squats. Okay, we're getting deeper. I want to see you do that without a bar. Same thing, blocks, everything. I want you to sit with the intention of touching your butt to that squat block. And I just want to see what happens. I want to see what your body does because we haven't broken through a range of motion where I'm getting a ton of feedback on versus you're starting to pitch over. But I'm going to see what it looks like with just your body weight. Andy, clean and press. He's been ticking along with these pretty great. Yes. Gets his feet set. Brace, dip drive, boom. Andy, home run.
Hey, thanks, Nick.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, it feels like they're starting to click, so.
I can see him clicking. This is great. Well done, man. Congratulations. These are brilliant.
Cool. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So this is what I mean, people, where you see how he presses at a different stance. He uses the and in the clean and press to set his press up after the clean. You're not married to that position. Dave, V, barbell, stiff leg deadlifts to the floor. Okay. For those of you that are new, stiff leg deadlifts are a deadlift just with as little leg drive as possible. So it's going to be a lot of glute, a lot of hammy, very minimal to, if any, quad. Dave, you're crushing these. Look at that hinge pattern. Nice neutral spine. That is a stiff leg deadlift indeed, sir. Well
Thank
done.
goodness. I felt the difference for real.
Yeah, those are awesome. Front squats. Good. Dave, you're moving so well. What I saw a little like little head nod. What are you thinking?
Just, trying to keep it right.
Dude, these are great.
All right.
There's
Thanks.
nothing going wrong here. I'm okay. If I want to be absolutely fucking picky and you could get a half inch deeper. That's it. That's it. Everything else, this position, your front rack, everything is where it's supposed to be.
I'll just keep going heavier till something breaks.
That's one way to do it. I mean, that's what I do.
All right.
10 out of 10 don't recommend, but wow. Good unrack. So he moved the box a little bit further back for him this week to get him reaching. A little bit of hesitation, but he's not pushing forward as much. So that's what we wanted. Good. Hal, I want you to get your eyes up. Looking at the ground, I think, is part of your issue. Yeah, push forward big. Got way out front on that one. I want you to get your eyes on something out front in front of you, because now you're pushing, it's exaggerating as you get deeper in the set. Let's add in some tempo. Let's do like 5 count eccentrics all the way down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boop, up. So you're really trying to sit back and hold the position all the way down without, we're not going to get effort through the weight. Obviously, the weight's going to provide some effort with the tempo, but it's going to create more tension for longer so we don't get into that push forward phase. And pick your eyes up for sure. So when I say pack that chin, I don't want you packing it down. I want you packing it back. So we're still out front. First pull, you're out front. Bar had to come back. See how that bar's teetering on the way up? So it's swinging back, then forward, back, then forward, back, and forward. Yep. So that bar is just too far away from you. So realistically, what needs to happen is you need to bring that bar in closer and kind of, again, rotate your whole body back. Just shift back. That's it. That's all you got to do. Bring the bar slightly closer, shift slightly back, and that should eliminate that bar swinging in towards you as soon as it breaks off the ground. Everything else, your brace, everything else is intact. Jan, rack pulls. Is a hard angle just because the plates cover everything up. They look good. It looks like we're getting into some flexion as we pull. There, boom, our hips are trying to cheat under. I really want you to focus on that cat-cow, that pushing that belly button to the floor, keeping tailbone to the sky, bracing and holding onto that for dear life. And then as it rises, you squeeze your glutes really, really, really hard. A higher angle, same thing I told Nick, if he could lift me up off the ground so I can see over the plates, that would be helpful. Laura, looks like we're doing some dumbbell deadlifts potentially. So you don't need to go all the way to the floor with these, because reason being, and this is, guys, for those of you that are new, so people that have been coming to these regularly, I'm sorry, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but we do have a lot of new people, which I absolutely love. If you guys can help me by putting your name and the lift, right? Because I think she's doing a stiff leg deadlift. She could be going for an RDL. But it will, when I'm not quite sure and without that context, it can help me coach you a little bit more accurately when I know exactly what your intention is. So regardless of this one being a stiff leg or an RDL, the cues are going to be the same here, because this reaching, see this flexion with stiff leg and RDLs, especially if you're new. Dave did a very good job because he's got a very confident movement pattern. So that's why we're doing it with him that way. With these, I don't want this flexion and this hinge pattern. The reason being is you end up unloading a lot of the big movers and creating torsion in the back, in the spine, because we're not supporting. So what I want out of these is not you bending over and reaching. I want you keeping a nice neutral back so everything stays flat. And as you go down, I want you to push your butt back past your heels and maintaining this. There's no folding, none, zero, zip, nada. We're going to push back, push back, push back, And when we get to that point, when we start to fold in the lumbar, right? That's where our range of motion stops. So any further than this, now I'm reaching, I'm losing that neutral, bringing it back here. So I'm staying in my range of motion to execute this lift. Going to the floor is irrelevant if you can't maintain position. So I want you focusing on proud chest, belly button to the floor, brace, hinge, push the butt back. Let your toes get light. Put that weight into those heels. Push back, push back, push back. Lower as you do, and then squeeze your butt to bring everything back up. Steffen, barbell rows. Further over. Yep, more hinge, brother. That's all. So we get more of this, the lats, the upper back, all that stuff involved. So if we just get you this, your position here is good. I just want you to come over a little bit further. It'll be a bigger range of motion too. Stiff leg deadlifts. So definitely in the RDL territory, which is fine. Don't care. I want to see you push this range of motion a little bit more and more each week, whether it's a half inch, an inch. I want to see these starting to get down over the knee, if possible. Because right now you're in extension. We want neutral. We don't want extension. Extension creates pressure the opposite direction. So we need to find that neutral. But it's that little bit of extension is better than flexion, in my opinion. So I want you to brace, not arch. So fine, you've now gone the other side of the spectrum where tailbone to the sky, belly button out to an exaggerated extent. We want that neutral straight line. Bear down into it and maintain the neutral portion. Play with it, feel it, see if you can recognize the physical input and feel what it feels like with the visual reference of the video. So we're like, okay, I know what I felt on this. And that's how we get that spatial awareness in our body. So what I want to see is neutral here, so nice straight line. And I want to see these get below the knee for you, at least. So another inch or so. Hardeek, looks like we got squats. Some heel elevation, good. Not everyone needs it, but it is a useful tool. My Wi-Fi is not cooperating. All right. So you started off great. As you descend, look how you push into your toes. What we want to do is we want to keep the weight in that midfoot from basically here, that ball, down to the heel. So you're pushing down and forward. That's what's creating what probably feels like a restriction in depth because you're maxing out the torque here. You're giving leverage to the weight. We want leverage to this midset. This is the midline. So shoulder, quad, down to the middle of the foot. That bar is past that midline, which means you're giving it the advantage. So we need to get you back. And literally a subtle shift back will put that over that midline and it will make it feel so much easier to get down to depth. Yep. Yep, you're going to come up forward. Very toe heavy. Yep. Nick, go ahead.
What's the difference between RDL and stiff leg deadlift?
So, in a practical sense, I let me figure out how I want to word this so I don't confuse you. In a very dumbed down explanation, one goes to the floor, one is very, very strict and probably goes about halfway down because that's what range of motion will allow. A stiff leg deadlift at its core is you're deadlifting from the floor with minimal to no leg drive from the quad. So you won't see any of that pushing the ground away with the legs. You'll see the hamstrings, glutes, and the hinge happening. An RDL is the one where you push your butt back as far as you can. You basically deadlift it up and you want to start from the top down. You deadlift up, you brace, and you push those hips back really, really far, and it never goes to the floor. It goes, depending on range of motion and mobility, it goes somewhere at the knee to like mid shin. It's constant tension, and it's like a strict hinge pattern. So do you know what good mornings are?
Yeah.
It's a good morning, but you're holding the bar in your hands instead of on your back.
Okay.
A stiff leg deadlift is a deadlift. A deadlift comes off the floor. That's what makes it a deadlift.
So Nick, would you never ever do a deficit deadlift like that?
Like what?
Stiff-legged.
No, I've done them. They were in my last program.
Okay.
So, all right. So I don't want anybody overthinking this. The reason why I coach it the way I coach it is because they're still hitting the same two big movers, hamstrings and glute. They're just doing it in kind of different ways, and one's harder than the other. You're going to lift more weight on a stiff leg deadlift if you're doing it correctly than you will on an RDL. The reason why I'm like, I don't want you guys stressing about this is because your glutes and your hamstrings are still getting loaded as the priority. So that's why when it comes to these new, Dave is doing it, executing it the way he does because his movement pattern and his, I don't know how else to say this, his body IQ, right? It's how well we can command our body to do something and know where we're at in space is at a higher level. So his body can differentiate the position, the subtleties that define an RDL and a stiff leg. For people getting new to this, it's another fucking thing to think about. When I'm just trying to get you to your hinge pattern correct, I don't want to add the nuance of a stiff leg and an RDL because at that point in your training, when you're getting fed with a fire hose already, I just want your hinge pattern to do what it's supposed to do. So we're learning to deadlift, you're learning to stiff leg deadlift, you're learning RDL. No, we're learning to deadlift, and then you're learning to deadlift without leg drive. That's what I'm simplifying it to. So with the RDL, it's also why I teach have everyone do the RDL first, is because it's strict, and that strictness is engaged to a certain extent with the stiff leg deadlift. So if I can't get you to hinge without leg drive, the stiff leg deadlift won't do its job. So it's kind of a progression that I don't tell people I'm doing with them. And then I explain the nuance once they get to that point when they're RDLing and deadlifting both confidently, because the stiff leg deadlift is kind of between the two. Does that make sense?
Thanks.
Great question, though, because 100% chance you're not the only one thinking that. And it's something that I will never get tired of explaining. I'm someone who processes things differently than a lot of people. And I feel bad. I get self-conscious about asking questions because I might ask the same question over and over and over again until I grasp it because I'm self-conscious about my ability to understand the way someone else does. So when someone asks the same questions over and over, that's why I have all the patience in the fucking world, is because it comes from a place that I've been my entire life with certain things. So if you guys have a question and you're like, it's probably already been answered, ask it. That is why I'm here. So great question, Nick, especially with all the new people that are in here. with the nuance of an RDL and a stiff leg deadlift. For you, I'm assuming you're trying to figure out how this will apply to you, or were you just curious?
Kind of curious, but sometimes like part of my in the pumped program, there's a lot of dumbbell stiff leg deadlifts.
Yeah, just do the RDL for now because
Okay.
we're still figuring out your deadlift.
Okay.
Once we get that pattern confident, then I'm gonna be like, okay, you know what a deadlift feels like. Now bring your butt up so your legs can't leg drive, but keep that nice strict neutral hinge pattern and deadlift. So we're gonna get it here at the deadlift at the ground level, then we're gonna get it here in the RDL, and then we're gonna take the two and do the stiff leg.
Gotcha.
Same concept of me teaching clean and presses from the top down. So it's just not everything all at once. Hardeek, deadlifts. Those are pretty good. I will say, I don't know if you're going to be able to maintain that position when it gets heavy. Reason being is what you're doing really good is pulling in tension, and the bar's already coming up off the floor. So it's really, really light. But what I want to challenge you to do is bring your hips up quarter inch from here to literally here because you're almost in a squat position. And when that gets heavy, I can almost guarantee those hips are going to fire up. But for now, it's working just under a heavier load. I don't see you maintaining that position because other factors come into play. So let's get your hips up ever so slightly and get you more into that midfoot and heel. Shift back. You're going to hear me say that a lot and see what happens. And I want to see a working set for you where, like, it's heavier. I want to see what comes out. Barrett, seated clean and press. She's ticking away at these. Much better. Much, much better, Barrett. You're not creating this big arc. You're kind of coming up and snapping. I just want you to kind of speed it up a little bit with the clean. The press, you're still pressing out front. I want you to press up overhead. So taking a second, proud chest, then press. You don't have to go right into the press. Clean, get set, press over the head. Not out front. But you're getting there every single week. Miguel, looks like deadlifts. Good eccentric. All right. So we're going to eliminate the touch and goes because once you get into that rhythm, everything's easier because gravity's putting you in line. And say you go up to a 1 rep max, guess what you don't get to do? You don't get to come down from the top. You've got to start from a dead stop. Hence the name deadlift. Yeah, I'm going to see that off the floor entirely. How do I slide this over? There we go. Yeah, I'm going to see what your first pull looks like completely off the floor because you're coming down slightly forward, which is putting you out front. But I need to, I want to see this from a dead start because odds are you're going to have to come back a little bit in your weight. Hips may have to come up ever so slightly to clear the knees, but you're going to have to start those off the floor for me. Garrett, rear foot, elevated split squats. I want to see you a little bit more upright from the hips up, a nice over position. This isn't bad. This isn't technically wrong. You've got good space, distance between front foot and back foot. You're not drifting forward. You have to push back ever so slightly. But the reason being is I don't want you to be limited by how heavy you can get and it taxing your back more than your quad. So that's why I'm putting it that way. But you're moving well, man. You've got a lot of the good components here. We just adjust that position and don't be afraid to load those up. I apologize, Siana. I'm going to go out on a limb. Siana Faith, kickstand deadlift. Okay. So, kickstand deadlifts. I want this back foot closer because it is a variation of a RDL or a stiff leg deadlift. The kickstand is doing exactly that. Your hinge, the silver lining here is you're very mobile. There's no shot I'm getting that far in this position. So kudos to you because I think this hamstring would detach from the bone if I tried to do that. Kickstand deadlift. We don't want to be so far apart because what's going to happen is, A, it's going to open this hip up and then you're kind of twisted. B, all it's doing is it's not counterbalancing. It's going right here. It's half step back, 1 foot length, literally right behind your heel. You're going to actively drive this hip forward and you're going to push back into a hinge. Where you're going to feel when that hip kicks forward, it's going to feel like you're twisted the other way, but it's actually creating alignment. So if I don't, you see how this hip opens up? It's further back. By driving it forward, my hips go back in unison, which means you'll feel it in this glute hamstring attachment much sooner. And our range of motion stops when this lumbar has to then reach and cave. So we stay in this nice strict hinge pattern. And if you notice, while I'm doing this, I can pick my kickstand foot up. It's literally just a guide. I'm not sitting back into it. I'm on my tippy toe, ball on my foot, just pushing back into that glute. You've got the right idea. We just need to get you in the correct position. The new face, new name, I don't recognize, so glad you're here. Welcome. Laura Brannen, bench press. Let's see what we got here. These are good. I'd like to see you press a little bit more towards your face, Laura. It's really the only thing that stands out. Let me watch that unrack again. Good. Again, look at that. Glute squeeze, tight back. Try to avoid reaching at the top of that, keeping that chest proud, the shoulders back and down. So we're pressing here. We don't have to reach. But everything else is intact, Laura. This is good. Just press slightly more towards your eyes. Ian Quadrio. Great depth. We have a little bit of a forward drift. So one thing I want you to focus on as you're going down, I want you to have input into the bar with your back. So not just descending with the legs and holding with the car. I want you actively inputting against the bar on the way down. Then when you fire up out of the hole, I want you to drive into the bar hard, everything you got. The other thing, my nervous system cannot stand watching people walk backward into a fucking rack. I've seen that go wrong so many times. And you're honestly way more stable walking backward out of the rack than forward because it's trying to fold you forward. So with that being said, I'd love for you to squat facing the rack and racking into it face first, and I'd be able to see more of your hips and what's going on if it wasn't covered by the rack. Your squat looks pretty damn good, Ian. There are just going to be some polishing things we do to really get this on fire. Foot width looks good. Yeah, you have that big hinge in the fold. I want you to really drive back into that bar. And this is a reason, honestly, this is the main reason why I hate pads, is see how high that bar is up against this versus without that pad, it forces you to get it on your trap and down lower off that neck and it won't fold you as much. That 2 inches creates a leverage difference. It impacts. It's like being an inch out front on a deadlift. You can feel a difference versus when it's in bar path. So that is why I'm against pads. I want you on the bar. I want dictation into the bar. I don't want you giving up any leverage. I want you to get used to being in contact with that bar. And we're doing high pulls. She's progressing to a clean and press. Good. Good triple extension, hips coming all the way through. And I'd like to see these from the front. Reason being is I want to see your foot width and where you've got your toes oriented. But this is looking so much better than when you first sent me the first one. Well done. This is going nicely. With that being said, I want you to now get it to land in the front rack. And what I want you to focus on is when you get up into that extension, then you fire your elbows through. The bar spins. Use it. Don't change anything from this high pull other than you get up to the peak where the bar floats, and then you drive through and catch. You're not coming out and around. You're coming up, drive through, attacking the bar, getting it to land in that front rack position. Great progress, Ann. Mark, let's see what we got here. Yes. Drive those knees out. There you go. Mark, you're doing great. These are ticking along fantastically. Since we opened you up in width a little bit, you're chipping right along, man. Well done. I love these. Hundreds right around the corner. All right, Mike. We've been progressing his body weight squats, getting his position over the last several weeks. And now he's getting the position down. He's not even needing the wall, and he's getting down deeper. And for those of you that have been here every week to see this, you know what a far cry this is from his first submission. I mean, it was more fold than it was squat, and now he is got great position. He is on the cusp of breaking that depth barrier. So, Mike, steady as she goes, push more depth. Just sink down a little bit lower next week or next round, whenever you do these again. But you are on the cusp of full range of motion with great position. This is a boring process, guys. And he just does this every single week. We've implemented several different things to get to this point, but this is not pretty glamorous work. This isn't 1 rep max PR. This is just complete fundamental movement pattern with nothing else attached to it. And he now has a whole new ability to move in a pattern he didn't before, and that makes me so excited for him. Chris K, what do we got? Calf raises. Okay. Fine. Yeah. So with calf raises, if you're going to be on the lower side, yep, turning out. So calf raises it's another one of those. One thing I want people to keep in mind with calf raises is they are constantly getting work. They're constantly under tension. So to work them out, we need one of two things. We need either a shitload of weight or a shitload of time under tension. Sometimes both. So
Hey, Nick.
Hey, what's going on, Chris?
Hey, sorry about that. Actually, I just got a call when you pulled up mine. The reason I submitted it, an old program I was following was it showed like 15 to 25 toes forward, and then you point the toes in, do, 15, 25, point the toes out just to hit all sides of it. On that program, it shows 10 or maybe 8 to 10, just the toes forward. Should I just be doing that, or that's why I wanted to see, is it wasted movement, or would you with the program just follow it, just do how it says and then just put more weight on it?
Yeah. 8 to 10, load that bad boy up. Like you should be fighting for your life around 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's no reason to do like the toes in, the toes out, just keep toes
there
forward?
is, but it's not necessary, right? Like I'm currently doing something called, I believe it's pronounced releves. It's a very different version. It's actually rotation in the calf raise. Reason being is being standing versus seated in and of itself works two different parts of the calves. So when you're standing, you're getting the big meaty part of the calf. When you're seated, it hits this interior part that's in here. And that's why they feel so much harder. Simply standing versus seated is two different parts of the calves. So rotating, yes, it can, but we're splitting fucking hairs.
Okay.
The big difference comes in standing versus seated. If we're really talking about hitting different parts of the calf. So with that being said, what I'd like to see is more range of motion from you. I want to see those calves get higher up. I want to see those heels get higher up. And I want to see you not going down to neutral, but maybe bringing your foot a little bit further back on this and letting your heels dip below and really grabbing that plate and pushing up into extension. And what I mean by that is you're kind of like, can you see my feet?
Yes.
You're kind of like here at the top. I want you here.
Gotcha.
All
Yep.
the way up into that extension, demanding a full range of motion, big contraction, grabbing the floor with it and creating rigidity through the foot.
Okay, yep, sounds good.
Keep them straight, slightly out, straight. It's fine.
All right, thanks.
Yes, sir. April, strict press, clean, then clean and push press. Got it. Good. Nice job. Way to drive back towards your head.
And not as much sway back this week.
Yeah. Those were excellent.
Okay, good.
Has anyone seen Bill and Ted's Most Excellent Adventures?
Jesus.
Excellent.
Of course.
That's the Keanu Reeves I remember, not John Wick.
Yeah, now I'm head banging in the back.
Hang clean. Good. All right. What do you think I'm going to say here?
Oh, Jesus.
Just out of curiosity. It has to do with this was better.
Thank you.
That
need to-
was better than
I don't know. Reposition before the press.
part of it, yes. I want you to pay attention to your rack position.
Get my elbows up more.
Mhm. Get your feet set. And what I want you to do is look at that triple extension. Love that. Look how far forward we're traveling. So what I want you to do is get your feet set a little bit out wider, turn the toes out. And I want you to drive those knees, what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, plie.
Pop out of the leg drive. So we don't sag. So those elbows up, peel them apart, get that upper back tight. So then we can get our feet set, dip, drive, and really launch that bar off of our shoulder.
Okay.
You self-corrected into your rack position here from there versus here is better. You're actually on your shoulders, but really fight and get those elbows up, peel them out. When it lands, set your feet first, then set your back and your elbows.
Nick, I'm having problems keeping confident with catching the bar. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to let that bar land on my delts or if I'm catching it on my hands and then putting it on to the delts. Am I overthinking it?
Yeah, because what happens is you'll get to a weight where you're not going to be catching it in your hands. You're gonna fire it into those delts. Of course, you're not confident. You've been doing this for 2 minutes.
I did it so many times. I really, really hurt. And last night we had tennis. You should have seen my serves. It was interesting. I had to do a lot more spinning on my serve instead of power. So I adapted, but oh my God, I did like 45 minutes of it just practicing. I just didn't realize I'd done so much, but it's fun, but it hurts.
As you get better at this, you will start to understand how much input you need with your hands when you catch and how much dip you need to kind of receive it versus like wham. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what'll happen is when you rotate under, your body will start being able to judge the distance of, okay, it's here, it's floating, it's stopped, I go under and it lands. Versus like, boom. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So again, this comes down to you've been doing it for 2 minutes. And allowing your body time, because what'll happen is, and some people naturally do it more and faster or better than other people, and that's okay. You have a PhD. I pick up rocks, right? Like there's things you do much better than me. But what your body's going to do, it's going to, as you do this and as you get heavier, it's going to auto adjust that gap that you have to make up. Like for me, when I continental cleaner press, bit, I know when I'm towards max effort, I'm going to go from having to do this to having to do this. Because I know my body knows and memorizes where that progression, that bar is going to get lower and lower because it's going to get heavier and heavier. So the amount of makeup I get for receiving and catching the bar, so 400 pounds when I do it, doesn't fold me in fucking half. That's why. Is because your body starts to adjust on how to receive that bar.
Okay.
So
great, more reps.
The thing you're probably too much into is I'm not confident. Yeah, I don't expect you to be.
Okay.
That's why I'm here. You're figuring this out. It's going to be clunky. It's supposed to be clunky. If it wasn't, A, I'd be stoked. B, I'd be like, you've done this before. You're bullshitting me. But I'm not expecting confidence out of you. That comes with reps. You will gain that. A year from now, you're gonna look at this and be like, "What the fuck was I doing?"
Kind of like I'm doing with my squats. Yeah.
I should post a video. You know what? I'm gonna track down the video of my first log clean. It is terrible. But now I don't even have to think about it. I know exactly, my body just knows.
Yeah.
Right? And that came with a shitload of reps. So just know that.
Okay. Shitload of reps coming up. Thank you.
John. Looks like we got some back squats. John already hate how you goes this rack. Face the rack always.
I'm on it already from earlier. We'll see how my depth is. It's like a little, my knee was tweaky. Always is.
It's a little high.
Yeah.
But your position is fantastic.
Oh. Okay.
We could potentially even drop that bar lower. It looks like you're almost on your neck.
Yeah, I've been working on trying to get it a little lower. The first time, well, I guess a week ago when I did these, I had it too high and it was bugging me. And I'm like, okay, try to get it back.
Yeah, I'd like to see it more on the back of the trap than up on top and on that C-spine.
Okay, so drop it down a little.
Yeah, and you should feel a little bit better of a leverage input. If your shoulder's in the way, you can always move your hands out a little bit wider. Like there's world-class squatters that are just big boys in every sense of the way that are almost out against the plates when they squat just because they're just big humans and they don't have the mobility, but they're able to generate that tension because even getting there is work and generating tension. So there's no like your hands have to be here. It's your hands
so upright. Good, but just get that back and widen.
Yeah, and really work on sitting down. I'd love to see your width. That could be a factor. Maybe a little. Are you elevating your heels at all?
I don't think so, but I'll change my camera position next time and get it a little bit more forward. This is the first time I've worked out at this gym, so I had to kind of figure out everything for where I put stuff.
Next week, I want the 2 videos I want from you. I want one straight on from the front.
Okay.
So it doesn't look like, and here's the one time where I'll permit you to back into the rack, is because I can see there's a wall on the other side.
Yeah.
So for that video, it is totally acceptable for you to show me the way you're facing now so I can see it directly from the front. The second video is I want you to do 2 reps without heel elevation and then 2 reps, put plates on your heels. You can make it all one video. You can squat in front of them and then you can walk out to them for the second 2 reps. 2 reps with your heels elevated. And I just want to see what your hips do is what I'm looking for. Okay. And then we can go from there. You don't have long femurs. I don't think that will be something that will be necessary for you. It's just I have to troubleshoot.
Okay.
So I just want more info before I'm like, this is what we're doing and running with.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, John.
Oh, you're welcome. I got one more, I think, too. Yep.
Let's party. See what we got.
I'm interested to see what you say because these felt a lot better than a week ago. I've been trying to tweak a little, so we'll see.
They're not bad. We can get more leg drive, though. The shoes. Toss them on the deadlifts.
Okay, take them off. All right.
And if you're wearing them on squats, same thing. I can see your ankles fighting for stability. See all that movement?
Mm-hmm.
We can get a little bit more leg drive. So this position, you can drop. I want you to drop your hips from here to literally here. That's it. That's it. Nothing drastic. Not going to a squat position. It's this much.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Sounds good. I was trying to get my arms aligned straight up over the bar because I noticed a week ago I was way more forward and I had kind of my back bugging me and I wasn't sure if that was it, but I was like, I got to get more.
So I'll tell you this, shoulder is ever so slightly out front of the bar. When you take these hips and go from here to here, it's going to pull you back. It's going to fix it.
Awesome. All right. I'll work on it. Thanks.
Yes, sir. Rolly Tarver, first front squats. Okay. Let's see what we got. It's not bad. Man, you're getting so much right. You've never done this before. Like this is fantastic. You should be thrilled with this. Depth, position. The only thing I actually hate is how you're holding the bar, but you don't know any better, so it's okay. Um, so main thing is rack position. I want you 2 fingers underneath the bar. If you can't do that, there's a strap method. For time's sake, because we have it now, there is a front squat masterclass video. People who are better in the app than I am, where do they find that at? Someone want to back me up here? Because I'm app dumb.
I don't know if it's on the app, but you can get it on the Pump Club YouTube channel.
The master classes are definitely on the app.
I found it on the YouTube channel, but I'm sure they're somewhere in the app.
Okay. Well, either way, they're there.
If you just search in the tabs in the articles for masterclass, it'll have the link to the YouTube. And then also like in the YouTube, if you go to playlists, there's actually like a playlist with all the masterclasses in it.
There we go. Thank you guys. I am, like I said, I'm app dumb because when I'm in the app, I am coaching. I am not navigating that thing. So, yes, the search the master classes, you heard what Mindy said. I'd like to see these from the side, Rolly, is the other thing. See what's going on with your hinge and your squat pattern. Look how happy he looks. I love that. And we can go from there. But you, in that master class, it will cover the rack position and the Y at a much deeper level. And I want you to pay attention to that as well. Rear view. Okay. I might be able to put my foot in my mouth on the side view. Because this is like a rear from a 45, so this is good enough for sure. Yeah. Overall, pretty damn good. Some things stand out with this view is see how far down we get and we start to move forward and those heels lift. One, the shoes aren't doing you any favors. They're squishy, they're unstable. So you can squat in your socks. It's totally fine. Or a flat-soled shoe. Something hard and firm. The other thing is the rack position has a lot to do with this because of how you're holding it. See how far away that bar is from you versus getting it behind the delt. It will allow you to trap that bar in there and really create tension in that upper back and keep from folding over. The other thing, when you do squat, again, in the masterclass video, there's breathing and bracing cues. I want you to fill up with air, the stomach, brace, and create rigidity in the midsection when you squat. So you breathe down, you brace, you bear, then you squat. You squeeze your butt, all of it. Create tension. That's the long and the short of it. I think you'll have some really good takeaways from that masterclass video for sure. Looks like she got something to say.
Hey, Nick. So I'm doing the dumbbell foundation for intermediate, and I've never done deadlifts of any kind. And I want to make sure that I'm doing the dumbbell deadlift correct, and then the Romanian one, because I'm not quite sure I understand the difference between the two. So I'm going to do what I'm thinking is the deadlift for just regular, and then the Romanian one, and hopefully you can make sure I'm doing these correctly. So here is, I'm doing these with 10-pound weights. And then I'm not sure if I should do it to the side so you can see what I'm doing. But from my understanding, a deadlift, does it start at like a squat position and then keeping your back straight and like squeezing your glutes as you go up. But like trying not to lean forward too much and lean back. And then the Romanian deadlift, from my understanding, it's not quite a squat. It's kind of like
correct
a bend forward
yes
and
and no.
bringing it up as close as I can to my body and keeping my back straight.
Yes.
So those are my questions. Hopefully this.
First of all, what a gem.
Thank you.
I loved this. Hearing the entire thought process. I was in it.
Talk things out. It's just my thing.
This was fantastic. It made me smile real big. I'm happy to help and welcome.
Thank you.
So yeah, you got some right. You understand the gist of it. But so we'll go to the deadlift. They're birds of a feather. One is just without leg drive.
Okay.
A very strict hinge. And the other one is leg drive. So
hold on. What does leg drive mean?
you're about to find out. So that would be leg drive. It means when you start to stand up, your legs and your quads are going to initiate the deadlift.
Okay, got it.
So, but it's not a squat, and we don't want to squat it. We want to deadlift it.
Okay.
So this position, your butt's actually going to come up a little bit.
Okay.
The reason being is the leg drive is the initiator. So what I mean by that is when I'm starting the deadlift, I'm pushing the ground away, and then my glutes take over. Boop.
Okay.
But if you notice, I'm not down here.
Right.
So with that, there's a couple options with them being dumbbells on placement. Some people kind of come off the side. Some people do a 45. Some are straight. I will say, if you have like a trap bar where it's a neutral grip to your sides and a conventional deadlift with a barbell, the one out front is harder because it hits the posterior chain much harder. The leverage is less in your favor, but it builds a brutally strong posterior chain versus to the side. So
okay.
I challenge you to keep them out front and find your position. So
okay.
what I want you to do is stand all the way up with them, and I want you to hinge and then bend.
Okay, so hinge and then bend. Got it.
Watch what happens with I won't move my arms. I'll just grab close. Hinge and bend. Notice how my shoulders are pretty much right over my wrists the whole time.
Yeah.
And then I'm literally just gonna sit down a little bit more. So that's how I'm using gravity to find my position.
Okay.
What I want you to keep in mind when you hinge, you were talking about that flat back. It's what we call neutral. You have extension or anterior pelvic tilt, and you have flexion or interior pelvic tilt. We don't want extension. We definitely don't want flexion. Flexion loads the spine. Hyperextension in this hinge pattern loads it the other way. We want a nice neutral position. And how I cue that is typically think belly button to the floor, tailbone to the sky. So you're kind of down here. This position that you're in, that's neutral. That's good.
Okay.
We just need to bring your butt up because you see how your shoulders are behind your arms.
Oh, yeah.
By bringing your butt up and changing absolutely nothing else about your position here. By simply bringing your butt from here to here, you'll be in position.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
That's it. The RDL.
Yeah.
The RDL, I want you to, I'm going to see what you see after finding out about that neutral spine position, right?
Okay.
So we get into your RDLs. What's the difference?
Am I going down too far?
This right
Or
here.
my back is like arched, so I'm getting
Yes. So with an RDL, it's very hamstring and glute heavy because there's no leg drive.
Okay.
So you're literally going to be heel heavy to the point where your toes can wiggle when you push back. So
Oh, okay.
it's the strictest, one of the strictest hinge patterns we do. You're going to be at about the same width you deadlift, and you're
Okay.
going to squeeze your butt. You're going to brace. Masterclass video. If you search, if you were here for what Mindy said, there's breathing and bracing in there. It's very important.
Perfect. Okay.
I require you to watch that, actually.
Okay, I will.
Breathing and bracing, creating that tension. And I'm literally just going to push my butt back, push my butt back. My toes are light. I don't know if you can see them. I'm pushing look at this. I can
okay.
do this the whole time. And my range of motion stops when I can no longer hinge and have to start folding.
Okay, got it.
This is a hinge. This is a fold.
Okay.
So we're pushing back. You're going to feel all of this light up.
Okay.
Stop. Right there for me is when I can no longer maintain that neutral position.
Got it. Okay.
Your range of motion in an RDL is very person to person.
Right.
Some people are very hypermobile and can get almost all the way down to the floor. Not a requirement. And the other thing is, if you can get down to the floor, push your butt back further. Bet you won't get down to the floor anymore.
Okay.
So I want you to be able to, do you know what the cat-cow is?
Yeah. Yeah.
I want you to practice that before your deadlifts. Hands up, hands and knees, cat-cow, and feeling what it feels like to turn that tailbone to the sky, because that's what that has to happen here. We need to get into anterior tilt. So I don't want you focused on the mid back or the thoracic portion. A lot of people cat-cow and they do this.
Yeah.
This isn't moving. I want you to tailbone to the floor.
Okay. Yeah.
To the sky.
Okay.
And how we set that lumbar in a deadlift is the same cue.
Oh, okay.
It's just turning the pelvis.
Okay, cool.
And then bracing is what holds it together.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're off to a pretty good start here. It's not bad.
Oh, thank you. And I'll make sure I label my videos. I didn't know I was supposed to do that.
I know. And I know we have such an influx of new people. That's why I'm just simply repeating it at the beginning. Yeah. I'm not expecting the new people to know. I'm just saying it so they know. And it is John Cena?
Yes, John Cena. Yep.
You don't get any John Cena jokes with that?
Oh, I get it all the time. And when I used to wait tables, people used to ask me if I was related to him, which I'm not. It's just my first name.
Yep. Cool. All right. Thanks for hopping in.
Thank you.
Yeah. Tish squats. She got the blocks. Let's see what we got now. Holy cow. Tish, I'm pretty sure I saw you hop in here.
I'm here.
Look-y here. You've got more depth than you've ever had.
Oh, good.
You can get a little deeper, but the heel elevation did wonders for you. How does that feel?
It felt better, but my lower back is still feeling super tight. And so once I get to a certain point, it feels like I can't go any further.
Yeah. So what the heel elevation does is it puts you in anterior tilt, and you're not used to being there. So you're now feeling things working a little bit more than they were before. But the good news is this is all staying intact. This is good. We're in position. You could push for another half inch and you're that close. You're right there. So this is really, really good. Are those slightly turned out? I can't tell from this angle.
I don't remember. Maybe.
We do want some slight toe turnout so we keep the glutes engaged.
Okay.
All right. Well done. This is good.
Yay. Thank you.
You just need to sit a little bit deeper than you think you are. That's it.
That's the hard part.
Well done. Daryl Rocky, barbell deadlift. Good. Nailed these. Not jerking on the bar. We have a nice hard input. We're slightly, ever so slightly out front on a couple of reps. See now it's swinging around now versus this first rep. You kind of shifted back at the last second, and that's what we need. We need to get you kind of turned. So if your shoulders and hips are here, just slightly turn, and that will bring that shoulder over the bar. And then you can bring the bar in ever so slightly.
Thanks. So Nick, thanks a lot. Appreciate all your expertise here. So maybe trying to work a little too fast, maybe pulling me forward a little bit, do you think?
It could be. The other thing is the way you jerk on the bar here as you get deeper into the set. See how your elbows rebend and your shoulders kind of dip right before you pull? That will also pull you forward because you're going from slack to all the load immediately versus pulling in tension and having some of the load, then driving with your legs while you're already loaded. So it keeps everything intact. You're not surprising the load-bearing system that is your posterior chain by dipping right before you pull, right? Let's see if we can find it. See that? See that dip right there? See how you sink down?
Yep.
And then you drive bit and look at that forward rotation that starts happening. And it's not heavy enough to where it gets worse, but this is how you need to start your deadlift. This is fantastic.
Okay.
So that dip down, that extra little sit, that slack in the elbows and shoulders, then pulling you out, and that's why you're kicking kind of up and forward because you're losing your tension and then yanking it versus getting in tight, bracing, snapping the bar, and then pushing the ground away.
Okay, great. Another quick question. So I kind of joked about this a little bit in the chats, but so I'm starting to tear up the front of my shins a little bit. I mean, is that so? I'm gonna cover them with some tall socks, but is that
totally normal?
Okay?
It's a requirement in powerlifting.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Just want to make sure.
People don't bleed on the bar. I train, privately, so I bleed on what I want.
Great. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Ryan Seagal. It's an iconic last name. If you know, you know. So these look like dumbbell deadlifts. We could get a little bit more leg bend out of these. You're doing really good by hinging back and getting your butt behind you. I want you to use kind of like your shins or your legs as the guide, to keep those dumbbells close. But you've got a good hinge pattern. Look at this, keeping neutral. A lot of right here, man. Just a little bit more leg drive, get a little bit deeper into the knee flexion and descending. You do a great job of hinging first. Like you make it happen all at once. I don't want to confuse you, but that hinge into the knee bend versus the knee bend, then the hinge. You have a good sequence. We just need to get slightly deeper. And your back position looks fantastic. Well done, Ryan. If that was supposed to be a dumbbell deadlift, it was RDLs. We need way less leg bend. But again, new people, this is why it's important to label it for me, because if that was a deadlift or an RDL, somewhere in between. So I could be totally wrong, and he was trying to RDL. If he was RDL, less leg bend and more hips back. So it's your hips are gliding forward and back. So I'm going to cover both just in case. So you're deadlifting these like you were the dumbbells. We need to get your hips up and we need to get your knees back. So your hips go from here up and back ever so slightly, not high, but higher, somewhere in here. So we're not so folded over and we're not squatting our deadlift. Jillian. Looks like some goblet squats. These are good. Jillian, you're killing these. Let's see what it looks like with the width. We're pretty wide now. So this is where I want to course correct a little bit because now we are outside of our hip path. See how extended we have to get with our hips. I'd rather you be somewhere in this line right here. So if you brought your foot, each foot in a foot width. So boom, boom, and really sat back over your heels versus this is almost what's called would be a sumo stand squat. It's very wide. It's not uncommon, but I don't think it's necessary for you. So let's narrow you up just a little bit because now I want to get that femur in line with the knee and the shin. Paul Kinsella, how's my speed? Let's see. Conjugate speed work. Faster.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever done speed deadlifts.
So here's what you can do. They even make devices for this shit. It's like little things you attach onto the bar, and it actually times the rep. So speed work and training velocity, the rep start to finish needs to be like 0.4 of a second.
Okay.
0.5 at the most. If are you on Instagram at all?
Sometimes.
So if you look up uncle.nick, no K,
Yeah, I've seen. I follow you. Yeah, I've seen your
the
stuff.
banded stuff, and you see how violently I accelerate. I don't jerk on the bar. I don't hit. It's I pull in tension and I just hit really hard and speed the bar up the entire time. That we want that violence, we want that acceleration. That acceleration, being able to ramp the bar speed up the entire time into lockout is where we're building the power.
Okay. So if that's the case, should I drop weight so I can hit that speed?
Yes. So here's some conjugate insight. Play conservative on your speed work and then gradually add weight. Be like, okay, let me add 5 pounds next week. Boom, it's still moving fast. Let me add 5 pounds next week. Boom, still moving fast. Let me add 5 more pounds. Okay, speed started to taper. Let me work here.
Gotcha.
And then yeah, it's very gradual. So with speed work and never doing speed work, like even when I started conjugate program this deep in the game, and I'm incredibly familiar with conjugate, I know that like when I'm doing conventional pulls, I'm healthy, everything's fine. With a barbell with bands, probably about 200 pounds of band tension plus somewhere around 3 to 330 is where I sit speed work. But even at the very beginning of the program, I'm going to start my speed pulls at around 275 and then add and let my body ramp up so I'm not maxed out week 3.
Right. Okay.
And I allowed that progression to build, that overload to happen. Let my body get to get used to it because by the end of conjugate, I'll be doing speed work heavier than when I did it last time. So play conservative with your speed and just focus on accelerating. Like boom, this isn't bad. You're probably somewhere between 0.5 and 0.7.
Okay. Just a bit faster.
But I would say drop, dude, I think it's a matter of like 15 pounds, 20 pounds at the most. And you're gonna feel like, I mean, you're gonna feel your hips wham into that bar.
Okay, I'll try that this week. And then I imagine the speed is like obviously in each rep, so I should still be sort of mini reset. Like I shouldn't be touch and go, right?
Speed work has nothing to do with how fast you finish the set. It's the concentric and the concentric alone.
Okay.
All right.
Cool. Thank you.
Well done and great question. We're seeing high stocks for the gentleman that just asked. Brian's rocking them.
Those are actually calf sleeves, so that little padding too.
Dude, there's companies that literally make deadlift sleeves, which I think is hilarious because people will pay $60 for them fucking things instead of just, what did those cost?
Oh, I don't even know. I got them forever ago because my calves always cramp up. Then I just happened to use them for this now.
Yeah, like
Probably $20 for a pair.
They make these like thick neoprene deadlift shins. So people put knee sleeves over them. I'd rather have scars because chicks dig scars,
These were probably $20.
Oh, I was told. These are good. Set in the back. Brian, love the set this week.
Yeah, I think you'd see my last two. My ass definitely bumps up on my last set or rep.
Core was getting tired.
But yeah, yep, exactly. 4x7s. It was yeah.
But that means you're pushing effort, and that's what we want. Still a decent rep, man. Well done.
Thank you, sir. All right.
I love those. What about squats?
Yeah, I was doing low bar for a while. Then I think you had mentioned something about high bar being a little bit more quad dominant. I kind of wanted to push quads a little more, so I switched back to high.
Yeah, it's called like a high bar, narrow stance. You see a lot of it being used in Olympic lifters because of the quad dominance with their clean. Squats carry over better for them there. How'd these feel? They look good.
Yeah, it felt good. I mean, I started it with this program, so this is week 6, I think. Going back down to this, I'm up on 10 plates, and then you can see my right foot tapping a ton. So I don't know if I'm too far back on the plate or if it's my weight shifting somewhere.
Okay.
My right foot just like taps after every single rep. I just like, or it could just be a tick. I don't know, but it's like, yeah, every single rep.
Yep, that's just your nervous system operating. I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
You're not doing it while you squat. It's just like a little it could be a little tick. I mean, I've watched videos and I'm like, why the fuck did I do that?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's something and then I'll watch other videos. I'm like, man, I've been doing that for a minute. I didn't even notice, but whatever.
All right, cool. Yeah, they feel good. I mean, you get stuck a couple of times, towards the end, but it's kind of feel to be expected. I feel like my first 2 feel really good.
Okay.
Like 3, 4, I feel like I'm not getting to depth, and I'm like, wait, you got to go further down, and then I fix it and maybe lean forward a little bit on kind of 6 or 7, but I sort of play around with it during the set.
Yeah, man, you've come a long way, dude. You're moving well. You're moving so good.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Appreciate your time.
Always. Anthony Peters. Yes. Just stringing them together. Anthony, your squat looks brilliant. One little cue that really clicked things for me is as soon as you come up out of the hole, I want you to actively drive back into the bar. Like, boom. Because of that reason right there. Especially when it starts slowing down, you're going to notice when you start doing that, that will speed you up a little bit. And it's because I think sometimes we get so focused on the brace, staying tight, and using our legs that, oh, this is a compound lift. We use our whole body. And then you start driving into the bar. And what that does is it assists, it gets your glutes in sooner. And you should notice a little bit more pop coming up through that midsection. Well done, though. Andres, 145-pound front squat.
Okay. Plus squat. That's the last set in the conjugate for yesterday. And look at my struggle there, because I never done 145.
Taking your time, getting set. Love it. Paused. Okay.
Yep.
Andres, these are gorgeous.
Well, I was dying.
Composed, technically sound. Every rep looked the same. That was 10 out of 10 set, man. I am so proud of you. Well done.
Cool. Nice. And now I just check my deadlift. Just because.
Hips kicked up a little bit. That's okay.
Yeah, I haven't done 275 in a while.
Your next deadlift, can you send me it from the front, please?
Front, okay.
I wanna look at some stuff. That sounded creepy. I wanna I wanna look at your foot width and what it's doing for your arm width.
Okay. All right, so it's from view like the same view from like
straight on. Straight
from
on.
the straight
I want to
straight
see
or do you
hug and everything that comes with it.
okay. I'll figure out how to do it.
Deadlift
All right.
face, the whole 9 yards.
Okay. Cool. Thanks.
Yes, sir. Main reason being is I think we could be making a minor position change, and I'm unsure of it, and I want to confirm it.
Okay.
Because it could add a little bit more leverage, i.e., utilizing your arm length a little better.
Okay.
And we're now at a point where you've gotten so consistent here. I'm comfortable with throwing that in. I didn't want to change it sooner because we were working on so many things. And now you're at a point, your squat, everything's ticking along, and now we're at a point where we can kind of tweak something if we want.
All right, sure. We can work on it. I'm game.
Sounds good, brother.
All right. Thanks, Nick.
Always. Derek, Sanford, dumbbell front squat. Getting them up there. That is a way. It works. Everyone has their preference here. Nailed these, dude. Back to back. 2 beautiful front squats. Not folding. That shows me, and just burying depth. Derek, you legend. Well done. Yeah. There's the effort. I love it. Natalia, body weight squat. All right. Plenty of depth here. Get these from the side. I'd like to see these from the side, Natalia, because it looks like we have a good amount of folding over. You've got great hip mobility. That's the beauty of this. But I want to see how much you're folding because there might be something we can do that I've been working on Mike with that transferred to him very, very well. Your squat overall is good, but I want to work on making it great with you. So I want to take a look at a different angle, if you could, from the side for me. Ryan, looks like cable press, fly. We'll see. Press. So same thing with a bench press, guys. Just because this implement changes, the pressing things when it comes to bracing and our back, how we position, do not change. So Ryan, you're reaching at the front of that press. I want you to, when you get into this position, shoulders back down, proud chest, and we're pressing within that plane. We're not reaching forward out of position. Literally just like you bench press. Don't change it. Jonathan Beaton, bodyweight reverse lunge. I don't know if it's the angle. So you see how you're kind of stepping back and then rocking forward and sitting down? Take a smaller step. So you can step back in unison in one fluid motion. So it's just bit here versus so far back, you have to then get in position, then lunge. Just bit. That's it. You do not have to go that far apart. And you'll find that you'll be able to stay in that nice upright position that you have when you come out of the lunge. Amanda, so barbell pause squats. So we've incorporated some stuff. She has a great squat, but she's like hypermobile and she's been bearing these. So we've created some variances in her squat to ingrain some muscle memory, if you will, on depth and position. So that's why she's pausing. It's not actually in the program. This is just a strategy that I implemented to move some things around for her. Okay. Right at the bottom, that ever so slight kick forward. Boop, right there. One thing you can do, so you can use those arms as your barrier. These are looking better, first and foremost. These are already looking better. Those arms you can use as your barrier. You can lift them up to where when you're at this point, those arms are contacting the bar. So you can't go lower. So here, everything is brilliant. Look, that bar is right over that midfoot. Perfect. And then if we break it down, look at that. We just shifted out of our position. We're still going. Still. Now you've got to fight. Now we're heel light. We're toe heavy. So, and you finish the squat that way versus look at that midfoot and how those heels are loaded. It's perfect. That is at depth right here. That is technically per a powerlifting rule, like at depth, like flirting with it. That's below. So right here, is kind of where I want you to live. And I think the pin squats are going to make a difference if we do them that way. And that's why the barrier is something I think we're really going to lean on with the pause, is getting you used to that position and not relying on elasticity in the hole to kind of rebound off of your own body, essentially, to come up and back and then out of it because it's putting you forward. So if you couldn't do the bands, that stuff, but if you have squat arms, you can still create the barrier, whether even if you don't have a band, you don't have a box, whatever. I've used stacks of plates to create a barrier for my butt. But you have these spotter arms, they are a totally valid option, especially with the tempo we're implementing and you just waiting to arrive at the pins and then coming up out of it from there with a 1/1000th pause. But these are better than last time, so we're trending in the right direction. These are really, really good. For all the new people, she has a great squat. There's just a technical inefficiency that puts her forward in the bottom of her hole, and we're doing a very fine-tuned process to make the most efficiency out of her squat pattern as possible. Darabos. Let's see. I just got done watching House of the Dragon, and I swear his name is like some Game of Thrones, like epic type name. I fucking love his name. So you've got the right idea. This vertical position, you're doing great. You're very upright. But I want you to get deeper, sit lower, and I want you to get into that rack position I'm constantly talking about. Watch the masterclass front squat video. Search it in the articles tab. There'll be some really good things for you in there on rack position. And if you can't get to it, there's ways to modify. And your front squat is together. We just need to get some depth and we need to get your rack position sorted. Really, those two fingers, elbows high, I think will definitely change how that bar feels for you in the best way. Looks like a back squat. Got some little blocks, put his heels on. Squat looks fantastic. I just need you to sit down a little further. That's it. I don't want to change anything else right now. Just sit down a little deeper than you think you need to. We got some shifts, some variation, but that's all right. Let's get you down there and then we can really polish. Well done. Jonathan, barbell, back squat. A little deeper for me, man. That's the main thing. You look really wide. And that could be causing that fold to happen and why you're getting forward because we don't have the right pelvic angle to really rely on that quad. It's very much like adductor and glute focus right now, and hamstring. And I want to let the quads do what they do a little bit more. So maybe a hair narrower, just a hair, and it'll allow you to really sit back and load the quad as more a collective input to the group. Trap bar deadlift looks good though. Well done here, Jonathan. Little bit of a jerk right there, but it's subtle. Keep those. Yep, there you go. Those are ticking along. Well done. Mark. Oh man. I'm going to butcher your last name. Ramanajam? Ramanajam. I love these. 1 week difference, and these already look drastically better. Don't shortchange that lockout. I want you to get all the way through. When you're coming up to lock out, I want you to squeeze your butt as hard as possible so your shoulders stack on your hips. Accelerate your hips to the bar. When the bar starts moving, try and input so the bar speeds up. Scott Calcamugio. Man, you guys are really testing my reading level with y'all's last names. It's all right. My fun fact. So these are deadlifts, no more out of the rack. Off the floor. How you deadlift from a dead stop is what makes it a deadlift, i.e. deadlift. So I want you pulling these from the floor from now on, dead stop every single rep. Reason being, how you set up that first rep is important. It carries over. If you ever want to test what your 1 rep max is, it's not going to be from a rack. It has to be from the floor. So I want you dead stopping, pulling from the floor every single rep. Let's build that technique from the ground up here. Your hinge pattern's good, so it doesn't need much. I want you used to pulling that thing from a dead stop off the floor. So not bad form at all, man. Like I just want to see what this looks like. From a dead start. My dad was the fun fact I was gonna say. My dad was adopted in Greece, and his last name was Kantolopoulos. And I grew up being ever so grateful that when he got adopted, they changed it to Myers because I'd have never had. I would have failed a test just trying to spell my name. I wouldn't have gotten past the part where you write your name on the paper. Juliana, row more towards the belly button. So a little bit more in this path versus this path. Here, let everything rotate around this joint. Don't try and stuff it up. So the reason being is when you row into this path, I can get way more of this upper back involved, a lot more of the lat. There you go. Much better. Much better. Bar path is sorted. Now, the only thing when you come down, you see how you're coming down and you kind of tip. I want you to come down in that position where you're letting your elbows guide versus letting them fall and wrists come down. Letting the elbows guide so fist stays over elbow, and then you drive back up towards the face, and it will make driving back up towards the face feel way faster. Alan, dumbbell squats. These are pretty good, man. Drive those knees out over your toes, slightly out, but your actual squat position looks fantastic. Well done. I think you could push weight a little bit more here. You kind of blitzed right through that. All right. So what I'm doing with Joe is we're taking a little bit different of approach. Is we've been working on, she's one of my adaptives, and we've been working on so many other things, and we've finally gotten her back flare-ups to a point where we can really focus on the strength outside of just the procedures to that improve quality of life. So she's been finding trouble with her start position. So what I've noticed is with her, when she goes down, her deadlift gravity puts her in line. So I'm having her do this from the top down and in this pathway for a specific reason. So, Joe, with these, I want to see you hinge, then bend at the knee.
Okay.
And what
They were my fourth set. My first set looked just like stiff leg deadlifts. I forgot to bend the knees completely.
So, your first 2 reps. Remember, I want you to send me the video of the progression, because I want your first 2 reps to be here, 1, 2. Then I want here and here,
Okay.
1, 2. Then I want you to go here, here, halfway down the shin, then up. Here, here, halfway down the shin, then up, then down to the floor. So
Okay.
we're building, getting the hips out of the way, bending the knee, and the whole time, gravity is keeping me in line. I don't want you to focus on the weight. I want you to let the weight dangle to keep neutral. So it's going to be counterintuitive than creating a tight back. But as long as we keep that lumbar tight and together and you're bracing, you'll be fine at that weight. So we brace, hinge. Notice how this is all in line. I'm putting no input other than holding the bar. No input, going a little bit lower. So now I've hinged. I'm clear. I can bend the knee. Hinged, clear, bend the knee. So when it comes up all together at once, it's just the reverse order.
Okay.
So we're going to build the pattern, ironically, backwards and get you used to that position it puts you in.
Okie doke.
Don't let Ellis's immaculate deadlift intimidate you.
I filmed him this week and I abused him like you asked me to, and he wouldn't let me submit it. I felt really mean.
Did you guys at least laugh?
Oh, we do.
Okay, brilliant. That was the goal. I'm kind
After squabbling.
You can send it to my WhatsApp.
I will do.
So this is already looking better though.
Yeah, I went like at the very end of it, I paused it, and I think my shoulders are definitely in a better position than they have been.
Yeah, gravity's got you in line. Look at this. Nice and straight. This
He's
is
just
good.
now. We could berate him now coming back from work.
Oh, that's just what he needs to walk into an earful. But it's yeah, I mean, this pattern is good. So when you get down into that, hey Ellis, when you get down into this position, this is where we need to keep you back, right? So to be careful of is as you bend the knee, you don't come forward. As you bend, you compress vertically. So if you look, this moment where you crest your knee, watch what happens with the bar. There's that subtle shift. So you're good, which means hips need to come back a little bit more.
Okay.
So they come back first. That's why I broke it down into the hinge, then the hinge, some knee bend, hinge, some knee bend, hinge, more knee bend. So that's why we're stacking it. And because this is what we want. This is a great start. But hips need to come back a little bit further based on where you end up here, because now you're kind of coming down into that toe heavy front position. That bar is more over your toes than it is midfoot. So
Yeah.
you need to create that clearance for that hinge. So if I'm not putting my butt back far enough, when I bend, look what has to happen. I have to get forward. Versus if I get out of the way, now my hands are clear of my knees and I can go straight down. And the bar is over somewhere in here for me, like right here. So I'm continuing down because my hips have cleared the way to allow the knee bend to happen without pushing me forward. And that, through this process, is what we've established as the culprit. You need to get the hips out of the way.
Mm-hmm. Easy.
Oh, remember you said that.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Okay. I did another one of my squats, the first ones I've done since working with you.
Okay. Beautiful. These are fantastic.
It's the first time I've done them without shifting, so I was quite pleased with that.
Yeah. These are outstanding. Literally, the only thing you have to worry about is progressing your depth. That's it.
Okay.
Nothing, I'm going to be very clear about this. Nothing changes, Joe.
I'll try.
Okay.
Try not to think that's the thing, isn't it?
Yep. Just take like an inch or two off your height and just
Yeah.
do that every week. Once it feels comfortable, take another inch or two. Take another inch. There is absolutely no rush, especially with what we deal with your back. Caution is definitely at the forefront. It is totally okay, and you're feeling it each week at each depth progressively. And
Yeah.
not only does it reassure you, but that reassurance gives you confidence that you can just get down there and
Yeah.
know how to get down there. So this is a great place to be. And over the next, 6 weeks, you'll probably be at depth. And say your back gets pissed off in this process, guess what you have now in place? You have procedures. You know how to adapt your training. You know how to, and hey, tweak my back. This is I got it on camera, blah, blah, blah. Cool. You know what to do. You have your isometrics, you have your movements, you have this problem solving skill set now that we have procedures in place. Okay, tweaked on the squat, ditch the squats, go right into my procedures, and then it will no longer be a month before you're back to doing it again. It could be a couple days, it could be a week, maybe 2 weeks at the longest, and you're right back where you left off.
Brilliant.
There's peace of mind
It's all
and confidence.
optimistic now. Thank
Yeah.
you.
You can do this shit.
Thank you.
Needed the map.
I did. And a compass.
Yeah, and you're crushing it.
Thank you.
Not all of us can be born perfect like Alice. It's okay.
Oh, it's very true. It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
He said it's lonely at the top.
No, yeah, so. Nice to see you, Nick.
See you guys. Bart. Clean and strict press. Great extension. Like a whole lot of extension. So almost good extension, timing's not quite there. So reason being is you're getting into this position and it's great. How do I make this thing go away? The drag to move, it's fucking me up. I'm trying to. I don't want it. Oh, I just
Take your time.
Never mind. I'm just fighting with technology over here. So when you go from here to here, Bart, you've got the right idea. But if you notice, see, you never hit extension in the leg, which means you're leaving leg drive on the table to get that bar to start going up. So your hips are coming through violently. Great. But if you look, when it starts, your input is almost all forward with the hips and no push the ground away to generate the up. See how you literally just come forward. You don't get up to let the hips come forward. So when we're pushing the ground away to initiate the hang clean, we still need some of this. And it happens at the same time. We drive with the legs to let the hips come forward to pull versus coming here and just muscling it up with that hinge pattern and using all glutes and back. Use those quads, get it started, finish with the hips, catch. Your press was fine. Press was great. It's just the timing of it all. If that
Okay.
makes sense.
Yeah, I'm still working on it. Like
that's why we're here.
even putting the ankles up was like throwing me of balance. So and it was the last set. So I have things to send you next week.
It's all right. We'll get you there. Deadlift. I mean, your deadlift looks fantastic. Your deadlift has come a very, very long way. You're automatic.
Yeah, I like your clue, like no jerking was
Yeah, no, looks mechanical. I love it.
yeah, and I'm back to normal weight, the normal height because deficit threw me off. On the another spot on that press, should I have the bar around the nipple line or?
Yeah, it should be the bar path doesn't change. Just where if you're talking about a dead press versus a a spotter press doesn't really have the arms normally. They work the same thing, so I don't really care. I don't want to get into the nuances. The bar path, nothing about your chest print. Jesus, press changes. It's just there's that barrier that's stopping it, and you're pressing from a dead stop.
Yeah, it was like the hardest for me to get the lower point because on every when I fail, it's always at the lower end. So
yeah,
thank you. I appreciate you as always.
Of course. All right, Benoit, what do we got? We got a calf raise rig. Benoit, another one this is what I love about coaching Benoit is I get to see how he just makes shit work. Brilliant. Again, it ain't stupid if it works. And this is actually I think a really, really awesome way to do this when you don't have the equipment.
Yeah.
This is good. You're going stupid heavy. You're getting some pretty good extension. You're getting nice deep into that stretch.
I think I could use way more weight, but the problem is that I have Egyptian feet and like
I don't even know what that means.
It means that the big toe is really far ahead and the pinky toe is really far behind. So like if I like see my I don't know if you see my foot.
Okay.
So here there's the bone and the other bone is right at the top there. So there's a decline. So when I push, it makes my foot turn sideways instead of going upward. And if it goes upward, then almost no toe are touching the ground anymore.
So have you tried pigeon-toeing when you calf raise?
No, I never heard about that. So that could be
So this could be a nuance due to your Aladdin feet. This could be a nuance that allows those bones if this one is further in front than the rest, and we pigeon toe, we now create an alignment when we go to input by basically pigeon toeing it and bringing it around and being able to load more evenly.
Okay.
What are the shot? Play with it.
Yeah.
Lateral cable raise.
Yeah, cable lateral raise. It pinched in the middle of my back. Just once though, but then the pain got there for several minutes after. Okay. Though I was trying to be quite stiff everywhere in the back.
So it's because you are using a lot of upper back for that. Is there a way to make this pulley lower down here?
Yes.
So what I would say is give this a shot. Go a little bit lighter and focus on the tempo.
Okay.
And anchor that lower, so you have to, because you kind of able to kind of cheat it and kind of pull with that back, versus if you anchor it lower, it'll keep you extended and go out in an arch. And don't think about coming back. I want you to think about raising out to the wall away from you. So you're going outward.
Okay.
Kind of like what you're doing there.
Yeah, that was the final of the drop. Thank you so much, Nick.
Always. Need a
This was my last set, and you'll notice my left arm and shoulder just kind of went. And so I lost the tempo that I had been using. And so it's not as slow on the eccentric as it should be. I recognize that. But I was wondering about how my upper body, my back and everything, is that where it should be? Should I have more, my shoulders back more? I'm still trying to figure out the form on that. And of course, right there's where everything went bad. So I just leaned back and did it supported.
So that's okay if you're doing these supported due to an adjustment with a shoulder issue. I have no problem with that. I like your initial approach. Like, I'm gonna do what I can unsupported, and then when I need to, I'm gonna go supported. Totally valid and a really good way to work through that. With that being said, was there any pain with that variation?
No, it just got tired. But the problem is mostly where it, believe it or not, where it starts to go first when I do it unsupported is in my back, not in the delts or up here. It's more in the back, which surprises me considering, but I guess it's a different motion. But that's why I'm wondering, am I holding my back correctly?
When you say the back, where in the back?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's hard to explain. It's like
behind the shoulder.
Yeah, it's actually like kind of
Like
shoulder
this.
blade-ish
Yes.
area. No, I mean more toward the center of the back,
Okay.
which surprises me because I feel like my back is relatively strong. I mean, I do rows and all with pretty decent weight, but yet when I'm standing there trying to hold
It's because you're forcing them to stabilize versus contract. So the scapula have to move and get out of the way and create clearance for the press. So a lot of the littler muscles that aren't relied on in a row are doing a lot of the heavy lifting on a press.
Okay.
So you're feeling them being a little bit behind the curve and they're fatiguing out first.
Okay. And the other problem I have is that it's like the program that I keep repeating only has just a few weeks of working, with the presses and all. And so it's like, I feel like I don't make any progress.
Which program is that?
I'm doing advanced dumbbell advanced foundation.
Okay.
And it's like the first 2 phases. There's only, I think, 1 or 2 workouts toward the end that even have the shoulder presses. Phase 3 doesn't even have the shoulder press. It's supposed to be a lateral lift, which, is my next video here. But I switched out today because I really wanted to work on the shoulder press this morning. And I know they're not equivalent, but that's what I did because I just
But you got to realize those lateral raises are also kind of enforcing the press.
Okay.
Working a lot of the smaller things that, you're raising, but it's still hitting the same mechanisms that support the press. So, especially like a rear delt raise, things of that nature, they're hitting that's why it's called assistance. It's assisting the main compound lift. So, that's where like a lot of that tempo and effort through the tempo comes into play, is where we need to force stabilization for you rather than total weight moved in a set.
Okay. On this one, I actually have better tempo. This was my first set as opposed to being the last one where I was already tired.
That's good. You can also add tempo on the way up.
Okay. Now you'll notice too that I'm kind of out front because when I try to go directly to the side, it's like that left side wants to kind of hang up. And so I'm not sure, what, I mean, it's not painful, but it just feels like it's kind of stiff in there.
Okay. That's okay if you're adjusting slight bar path to avoid impingement. Totally fine.
Okay.
Yeah, so this tempo, I think several weeks of this tempo and forcing more stability and control is going to cause all those little things to fire a little bit heavier than just like hit, right? So you can even add tempo on the way up on your press.
Okay. Well, here's another question for you.
Okay.
I think I only have like one day a week that I have actually anything with lateral or a press right now, just the lateral. And then I have flies on the same day. If I add a set of those, even though it's not in my
Oh,
program.
what you're gonna add is I want you to add external rotations. So if you have a band, something to anchor it to, so the band goes across this way, I want you to rotate here, and then something out in front of you, I want you to rotate back. You can even do that one with a dumbbell.
Okay.
And I want to see how those feel and what those do for you.
Okay.
Couple weeks. And it's
All
slow.
right.
On 1,000, 2, 1,003, on 1,002. And again, I don't care if it's with 2 pounds. You're gonna feel fatigue happening. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
So on the
Okay.
days when you don't have pressing, do those.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thanks.
Like literally like 3 by 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Emily, Hildreth Lawrence. Looks like we got some squats. See how they look compared to last week. Great depth. Pushing a little bit forward in the hole. So we're still coming down and forward towards the bottom half of the rep. See where you are here? Look where this bar is. Vertical, 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 vertical. Now we're coming forward, forward, down and forward, down and forward, down and forward. And then when you come up, you're going to have to fight to bring it back. Now you're coming up slightly forward, heavier in the front of the foot. Your position's good. Your position's sound. And it's way less drastic. You're not doing that thing where you rise to the toe again. Your position is, in fact, sound. And just a heads up, guys, it's 12:36. I have a hard stop at 1 because I have physical therapy. So with this down and forward, what I want you to start doing, Emily, and I gave this cue earlier, is when you start your squat, I want you to brace. I want you to pick your toes up. And then when you get your air and bear down, I want you to grab the floor with your feet. And I want you to squeeze your butt, and I want you to sit hinge first and sit, sit, sit. And the whole time you're sitting, I want you squeezing with the back and holding. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,003. And then as you come up, I want you to drive into the bar. So we don't come up and forward. We come up and back. And we reset into that midfoot and drive into it. You squat good. Your squat is not bad. We're correcting a bar path to create more efficiency and elevating that ceiling of progression and how the weight feels while it's moving. And the beauty about bar path is when it clicks and it gets right, you're gonna be like, well, that it'll be a light bulb. That rub felt fast. It felt easier than the one before it. And that's usually an indication of you found your bar path. All right. So that was the last one. I will open it up. I've got about 12 minutes of Q&A. So hit me, Benoit.
Yes, I'll try to be quick. So when I do dumbbell front squat, I noticed that I shrug, I shrug a lot. So is it okay if I stop shrugging at all?
When you do dumbbell front squats, you shrug a lot, or dumbbell squat.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you mean.
You see my shoulders? I'm doing this.
Oh, yeah, you're going like this. You don't need to do that. You just need to have them resting on top and keep keep my back tight, not up.
All right. Then with the shoulder pain, I noticed randomly that when I'm doing push-ups, if I try to pull my right arm downwards, then it triggers a muscle in the back that totally removes the pain from the AC right there.
So if you come down.
Yeah, exactly. But it's only on my right side. The left side is totally perfect, but the right side, I need to consciously pull downwards with my arms when doing push-ups to remove the pain from the shoulder.
That means you're getting your lat involved. So if we're getting our lat to fire like we're supposed to on the press. One thing you can do, and this might help out with in the warm-up on your presses, anything press, I want you to do a
like you've done with the elastic, or
no, fuck, this is gonna be hard to show. So it's an inverted row variation, but
yes.
Basically, fuck, this is gonna be hard because I don't have anything to inverted row on here. I mean I do, but I don't trust this plastic table. So basically, you're gonna inverted row, with something to have your feet up against, because I want you to inverted row in a position so you're not rowing here. It's forcing you to row here and generate lat tension, so you're kind of down here. So it's like a straight arm lat pull down meets an inverted row. And what you're gonna need to do. Are you on Instagram?
Yes.
So that video I posted, I'm doing exactly that. It's a rehab movement, but it is something I've done in the past to prime my lats.
Okay.
It's this variation right after this. That. You see how my feet against something so I can hold that position?
Yes, yes.
That's what I want you to do because it forces that downward motion and the row. And I was using it to kind of assess what I had with my lat. And use that. Do like 3 sets of 10 prior to pressing, and see how that feels going into the press.
And thank you for the unrack method that you gave me last time. It helps a lot because when I was reaching backward to grab the barbell, then I was losing tension in my lats, and that's probably where all the shit happened.
Yep. That's why I do it. Joe and Ellis, hit me.
How the lats doing, mate? Or the lats?
Oh, I showed people the imagery. You want to see it? So Ellis is a physio. So that's for context. Why I want to share the imagery. So Ellis, this is an intact part of my lat, right? It looks like steak.
Yeah.
Striations and all that stuff. So this is what it looks like blown apart.
Whoa.
The top portion is intact, so I'm a little over halfway through my lat with the tear. So I was flirting with it.
So it's bigger than you thought.
A little bigger than I thought. I wasn't sure. All I knew is it sounded like someone ripping fabric, and then it hurt. Um, and I'm like, I definitely just tore something. I'm pretty sure it was my lat. My worry was I tore it from the top attachment up underneath my shoulder, and I didn't see any bleeding or any sort of bruising. And I was like, well, that would be deep, so I don't know if it would, but there was swelling. So I'm like, okay. And then when we did that's an ultrasound. And basically I was about 3/4 through the entire lat. So I'm a high grade 2. I was flirting with a grade 3.
So what's your advice from the consultant then?
Well, I just did stem cell exosomes, pumped a whole vial of TB BPC 157 in it. It was like I took a 3.5-inch needle.
I saw that picture you put on Instagram.
That's my doc. Look at that needle on the one side.
Oh, okay.
And he put that up through using the ultrasound to miss all the nerves and the arteries and stuff. And I took basically, I think it was like 3 cc's of that cocktail between the stem cell exosomes, BBC 157, TB 500, MGF, some other stuff. He texted me. He goes, "Hey, we're gonna nuke this," and I'm like, "Okay." And a little bit of there's a growth hormone that they prescribe people for that like have conditions where they don't grow muscle tissue like they naturally should, and he put some of that in there as well. So I just got to be careful not to, just got to be careful with it and know that. And he's got me on a peptide protocol. Obviously I can't inject there, so I'm actually injecting right here, somewhat locally, with that stuff daily. But I have more range of motion than I had like I can't extend. I don't want to stretch it. But I'm actually standing overhead pressed this week for the first time. And I kind of was just very conscious of not forcing through. I was pressing to here and coming down, wasn't holding it, but I was doing it, light, like around 90 kilo, nothing crazy.
How much? 90.
90 kilo.
90.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's light. Yeah, that's light, mate. Yeah, that's really light. Yeah.
Light to me. So I was doing no bands, around 90 kilo, just like little bit of leg drive, not pushing through and forcing my lats to open up, and then just continuing to let range of motion as it comes. And but it's going well, man. Worlds is still a toss up. I don't want to force it and then go in and rip it off the bone. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I've accepted that. 2 more weeks we'll have an evaluation, and then at 6 weeks we'll have another eval. And then if the team is confident between my sports PT and doc to send it, I will say transparently, admittedly, I deadlift supinated with my left hand, and that's the one that tore. And my sports massage found I was so bound up in my trap and behind my scapula that when I pulled, my body didn't move and put all of that in the lat, and the lat didn't have room to move, and she's 90% sure that's why it went. I was literally like this. I was crooked with how bound up I was all the way up into my neck. And she's opened me up significantly since then. So there were signs, but they were signs I didn't recognize, and a lat tear wasn't even.
Yeah, it's not on the radar.
I wasn't feeling anything in my lat.
Yeah.
So, but I'd been about 6 weeks without body work because my sports massage did cut the tip of her finger off. So I couldn't get it done.
Selfish.
Yeah.
So yeah, she was working on me with a skin graft fingertip on, not using that hand, using her elbow. Like it was just two idiots, like two hurt people. But we got there. We're making progress. I'm training full tilt, heavy hinge patterns. the strap deadlifts and SSB squats. You know, all my lower days are brutal. My press days are smart. So thank you for asking. Yeah, man, I'm kind of viewing this as just taking up as much information in the process as I can to equip myself further as an athlete and as a coach.
Is it very painful still?
There are moments where it'll let me know, like I shut my door in my truck mindlessly and like was like, ha, and I was like, oh. I will say like this like lever plane, like if here where it really has to load here, so that's similar. It lets me know, and if I get too far into a range of motion, it's sharp, and then I get pressure in my shoulder.
Well, at least you know in the future you can work on that boggy scapular and neck area to prevent it. So kind of like a positive's come out of a negative.
Yeah.
So prevent bigger injury maybe.
Yeah, and that's the duality of heavy overhead pressing is like you can get I will get so bound up in that upper back. Like my subscap she couldn't even get to it because of the inflammation. But my subscap was like immobilized before she started working on me, and that was probably another part of why the lat had to stretch to the point of tearing because nothing else was allowing it to move.
That's interesting, man. Good luck. Don't go crazy.
Appreciate you. Anyone else? I got a couple more minutes.
Hey, Nick, I got a quick question if you have time.
Sure.
So on the program I'm on, I don't have the way to do the laying leg curl, but I can on my machine. I could stand in front of it and then do leg curls that way. Is that going to be good enough for that?
So you're just trying to figure out to streamline this. You're just trying to figure out a way to modify what you have to use a leg curl.
Yeah, so I have like the seated leg extension machine, and I could, stand instead of like laying the seat back where I lay on it and then, kick the heels to the back. I can stand up and do those, but I didn't know if that was sufficient for the program.
I use a band.
Oh, okay.
I lay on a bench face down. I put a foam roller underneath my hips, and then I go out to the tension desired, and I leg curl that way.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So, yeah, if it works and it's hitting the target and you've got good effort, again, if it works, it ain't stupid.
All right. Sounds good.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Going once. Anthony, hit me. You're muted. You'll have to. There we
Okay,
go.
can you hear me now?
Sir.
You can hear me?
I got you.
Okay, on using a weight belt during squats, I find like, and I had a video on here, you could see I start to sort of fold towards the end of the set. And I think it's like a back weakness to the legs maybe, but what's your thoughts on using a weight belt?
Like around like plates like dangling between you type shit?
No, like a compression belt around the waist when you're doing your squats and deadlifts.
Oh, a lifting belt.
That, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's a tool. But if you aren't breathing and bracing, if you don't understand that technique, it doesn't do anything. So when we're getting that air and we're bracing down and expanding our core and creating a rigid midsection, that's the brace. Internal pressure, tension in the abdomen, 360 degrees. A belt provides a barrier to reinforce and brace out against, which makes your brace stronger. If you're not bracing against it, it's not doing the what it's there to do. A belt is useless unless you breathe and brace. There is a way to practice that. One of the first things I give people is you lay on the floor, put a 10-pound weight on your stomach, and breathe and make it rise and fall. Hold, take fingertips, put them underneath the small of your back. So when you brace, you fill up, and then when you bear down, you should feel your back press down into your fingertips and pinch. And that's how you can get physical feedback. You're bracing all the way around. Wearing a belt needs to be tight enough that it creates a barrier for you to brace against, but too tight doesn't allow you to get the full brace. So it's definitely something that can help, but with a squat, with the folding, it could also be hip angle. Elevating the heel can help with anterior tilt. A lot of people fold because they can't get into that anterior tilt, and then they're here, and then they're folding over because their hips are immobilized. When we get into that anterior tilt, we can stay much more upright to allow our hips to turn to the femur angle required.
Okay. So like lift the tail, like.
What was that?
Go ahead. So you're saying like tilt your ass up when you're doing them, sort of?
Kind of. Tailbone to the sky. It's not as prevalent as on deadlift. It's not as drastic of a cue. But what can do that is if you put your heels on like 10-pound plates, that heel elevation will create it naturally.
Okay.
So if you're getting restriction in that plane, try some heel elevation and see if that opens up some range of motion for you.
It's really only just like the last maybe 2 reps or 1 rep where maybe it's a problem that the back fails before the quads and
not your
ass
back
do.
failing. It's what's supporting your back, which is your core. So that's going to be your brace. And when you get deep into a set on any compound lift, you've really got to fight for that brace because it's going to fatigue out.
Okay. And then one unrelated question: when you're doing arm like curls or dumbbell shoulder presses, one arm stronger than the other, should I limit the strong arm to be doing the same amount of reps? Is like, if I can only do 10 with my left, but I can do 12 with my right, should I stop my right to only do 10 with both sides?
Nope. Your body works synergistically. So you're going to have one that's always going to be slightly stronger than the other, because if you're right hand dominant, you're doing more shit with your right. Nothing changes. Just the left will catch up over time. It will get stronger. You just got to force it.
Okay.
All right.
Cool. Thanks, dude.
Yes, sir. Guys, I am out of time. I've got 5 minutes before I have to walk out the door. Thank you guys for showing up, and I will catch you next week.
Thanks, Nick.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nick.
Bye, guys.
Recovery.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nick. Bye.